right, we are off to be part of to show that we are fully 40-year-old children.
Yes.
We're gonna head off to Fremont Street and start making some wall art.
Yeah.
So
we are moving to a new space, so when you see these pictures up, they're going to be into our new little studio space. Our next stop will be at Fremont Street at the Caricature place. So
we'll see you there. Thank you very much.
We on a mission.
feeling good, man.
Good.
Feeling good in this new space.
This is definitely an improvement, I think.
Yeah.
We're a little bit more wide open now.
We are. We don't have those
good.
little. Well, we still have them, but they're not. They're not crowding.
Exactly. So we might still bring them in at some point.
So if you're wondering, the reason why we weren't able to come out with an episode this past week was because I've been moving, and it's in the middle of July, so it's fucking hot as hell. So it's been
indeed
a very grueling experience, but you know. Rewarding in itself because it's
I mean there's been rewards all the way through.
Yeah.
I mean we've you've gotten it done. I mean again more power to you. Moving is always a chore, but we've been rewarded. I say we because I'm riding coattails, but you've been rewarded with this nice new open area. I think everything looks great.
Yeah.
We've also been rewarded with a Stanley Cup.
Hell yeah, baby!
While we were gone,
Las Vegas, bringing it home, baby, with the championship.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
congrats to the Knights, guys.
Congrats to the Knights. Yeah, dude, I was able to go to the championship parade with the Dama.
Right.
That was really nice.
Oh, that
was really
cool.
fun. It's my first championship experience.
Oh, like being part of the ticker tape parade.
Yeah, because let's show them a couple of clips of the experience over there. Just heading over to Toshiba Plaza, about to check out the Knights, their celebration, having a little celebration parade on the Stanley Cup 2023, baby. She's out, baby. Go Knights.
Serious and people that are on the same we never got to do this. We wish out and talk about how they're happy but jealous. Say this to them. What these guys are doing right now is
And so so it was my first experience because I've had a complicated, not complicated, but kind of like a
complicated is probably
long-winded fandom into sports. Like I started off as a giant New York Giants fan.
Okay.
Like I never lived in New York. I never grew up there. I never was born there or nothing. I was born in Chicago. So why the hell am I a New York fan?
There you go.
Well, the reason why I started is because my dad obviously my dad, when he moved out here, he was in Chicago and Cubs, Bulls, Blackhawks. Those
of course, right.
That's the teams that he was introduced to, and that's the teams that he kind of gravitated towards and became fan of. And when I was a kid, I kind of went the opposite way of like most kids. They follow the sports teams that their parents root for. But then I wanted to have a rivalry with my dad.
That is how you rebelled.
Yes, that was my earliest form of rebellion.
Absolutely.
So I asked him. I was like, "Yeah, what team do you not like?" He's
you
like,
just explicitly like.
I was like, I just cut to the core of it, man. I'm like, hey, what team do you not like? And why? And he was like, okay, because he's more, above everything else, he's more of a Cubs fan. He's a baseball fan.
Gotcha.
He's a big time Cubs fan. So he's like, I hate the Mets. I was like, why? He's like, because in 1969. Now you guys might know this. They're called the Amazing Mets because in September, the start of September, which is the last month of the season, the regular season, they were 9.5 games out of first place. So they were dead last, basically. In the East.
Right.
And then the Cubs were number one. They were on top. And in that month span, the Mets went from dead last to
all the way to
first. And the Cubs, they didn't even get a chance. Because back then, I don't think they had playoffs. They only had like the championship.
No, they didn't have the wild card.
Yeah, so they only had
I think you still had the playoffs. You just didn't have the wild card.
Well,
you had to win the division.
Division and then championship.
Yeah.
And then
it's like
World Series,
you play against you do the division, then you do the pennant, then you do the
and then the World Series.
Yeah, there was no wild.
There was no wild card. Yeah, so there was no DS. There was no NLDS. There was just NLCS, basically. Yeah, there was no playoff game. There was just those two, the top winners from the...
Oh, from each division. Yeah. So it's basically still... Because those things were combined, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Man, it's crazy how much sports has changed. But, so the Mets came out, and then they actually won the World Series that year. And they called them Amazing Mets because they had no business being there, and then they all of a sudden won it.
Nolan Ryan begins his legacy.
Yeah. It was like 69. Yeah, that was the very beginning of his career.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a Mets fan. Right? So actually no, originally I was a Mets fan, not a Giants fan, and then so then I became a Mets fan, and then back then it was like my favorite player ever of all time. No, even I'll argue this. To
this is the hill you'll die
even though he doesn't have the numbers to support it, it's Darryl Strawberry.
Hey, favorite players are favorite players. That's all good.
No, he's great. He's great. I mean, I hated it, dude. Okay, I loved it when he went to the Dodgers. That's what made me into a Dodger fan. Like when he moved to the Dodgers. Yeah, when he went to the Dodgers in '90, I followed him. I was like, okay, so he's coming to my town. This is convenient. Now I'll cheer for him as a Dodger fan. And I hated it, man, because every time. Even our home like fans,
right.
When he went up, they would do the Darryl, and you seen that Simpsons episode where they make fun of that, and he's like crying.
Darryl. Children, that's not very nice.
Mom, they're professional athletes. They're used to this sort of thing. It rolls right off their backs.
And I was like, he really is crying, dude. Stop doing that. I'd be at the games. I'd be like, stop doing that. Because that got in his head, man.
I'm sure it did. I mean, it's everybody's human. So.
Yeah. So I was a New York fan basically for most of my time, and even when the Dodgers won the World Series in '88, I was a New York fan.
Right.
At
You
the
were
time.
still
I was. I mean, I was reeling off of the '86 Mets. They won again that year. And then I was like, I didn't really care about the '88 Dodgers, so I wasn't. And I was probably too young to really even participate in that.
No, exactly. Yeah.
So I never went to that parade.
Right.
The Giants won a few Super Bowls. They won 2 with Eli, and one with Jeff Hostetler back in '90, and they went another time in 2000, I think. But of course, those wins, they're halfway across the country, or not halfway across. They were on the other side of the country. I was like, I could never go to that parade. The Dodgers won 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, and I just moved out here. So I'm like, God damn it! Why'd you wait until I? Of course, because their whole success depends on me,
100%, exactly. That's how it works.
So as soon as I leave the city, then they win.
Right.
It's always like that, right? I mean.
No, exactly. That's exactly how sports works.
That's how it always is. Like when there's a really big game on the line, I wouldn't watch the game. If I'm gonna jinx them. It always has to do with me.
It's so funny how many of us are in that
right?
position. It's like all of us are just like, no, I can't watch it.
It's
because it absolutely depends on whether or not
whether you watch it or not, right?
Yeah, it's all good. It's good.
Yeah.
You have left out something though.
What's that?
So I mean, it's like, so of course, you kind of picked up the Giants because of the whole New York tie, and you've migrated from Mets to Dodgers, so that makes perfect sense as well. So that takes care of football and baseball.
Yeah. So hockey, I was a Rangers fan,
okay.
and I'm still am. But again, if they win, which they have, they won in '94. And I loved that. I was like, absolutely. So, but again, I wasn't there, so I can't go to the parade.
Of course.
And like being in Vegas, having a pro team is fairly new for the city.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, it's kind of nice that you go to a city that they have like a sports team, that has something to rally around. And I've been to a few of the Golden Knights games. They're very good. So they're pretty exciting and stuff.
Absolute blast.
It's really fun. It's a great experience. I mean, I think any hockey game is really really fun.
That's awesome.
Like Kings games back at home, or back in my old home in LA were pretty fun. The Staples Center and stuff. Never went to really Ducks games because they were way down in Anaheim.
Right.
Yeah. So wait. So was that? Your question?
I mean,
why am I fair weathering?
No. That one I actually give full credence to. It's like you basically have an East Coast and a West Coast team. That's reasonably fair.
Yeah.
We always talked about it in football. It's like you can have an AFC team and an NFC team because it's like they're not really meeting up that much. You have an AL NL team. That's all good. In basketball, you typically have an East and West team.
Oh God! Don't bring up my basketball. Oh man, that out of all the sports, that has been the most heartbreaking fandom that I've ever been a part of. I mean, which is a testament to why I don't really follow sports anymore. Mainly, a lot of it has to do with the Dodgers and the Knicks. So I was a Knicks fan through and through. Oh my God! I mean, there's so many. The 90's was just defined by so many championships that just never could be.
Of course.
Because of the one man.
You're right. Because there's one man
in Chicago, which my dad was like, haha, you should have fucking followed what I cheered for. And I was like, oh my God, I'm an idiot. But hey,
you're a fan.
At least I stayed strong, and I'm like, all right, I'm still gonna root for the Knicks.
And that makes you not a fair weather fan.
There you go. You got to go through the hard times, which I'm warning you guys, Las Vegas fans, you have never really seen
like actual failure.
Yeah, you've never been through hard times, so you better be ready. I want to see. Yeah, I'm gonna wait until Last year was kind of glimmer of hope because they didn't make it to the playoffs. I was like, ooh.
Kind of see how people hold on.
These guys will hold on and still be fans. Right. Again, but then they win.
Of course, they blow up.
God
I mean, it's like it's a good problem to have. Don't get me wrong.
It's going to happen though. It's going to happen.
We just hope it's going to be like 20 years from now. But
right. But it's just like teams. Guys get older. Other teams get stronger.
Yeah.
It's
an ebb and a flow.
It's and it's professional level.
Yeah.
It's the highest level. So you just can't expect this kind of success all the way through. So Las Vegas fans, you better, get your tier whatever rags ready because, you're going to have some disappointing, heartbreaking years. But no, it was fun to be a part of it as, just as a fan. As I was a casual fan. I wasn't like a hardcore fan. So, but it was cool. It was kind of nice to see like a whole city come together.
100%.
I mean, especially the Knights kind of symbolize more than just a new team. They came at a time when the shooting at the Aldine
that first year was so incredible.
Yeah.
The first game, it was like it really was almost transformative. It was very much a vehicle that kind of carried us past an unspeakable tragedy. It was the timing could not have been better.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
as much as sports is generally not in the grand scheme of things important. It like you said, it definitely brought the city together.
No,
in a way that would not have happened otherwise.
It felt like a fruition. The winning the championship came to fruition. Like this whole Vegas strong thing. You could feel it in the atmosphere, and that was really that was really cool.
Oh, absolutely. Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd really forgotten about kind of how emotional it was when it all started.
Yeah,
that's
Yeah. So so that happened in the time that we've since our last episode. We've also got some new background photos here. Where we're trying to get the the studio decorated up. Looking.
We're a little bit less than just the blank slate that we've had before.
Yeah,
I mean,
and the two little fucking moving blankets on the side.
Right. I mean, but it's going to be a process as always, and this is kind of the first thing you thought of, which is brilliant. Shout out to the guys down in Fremont Street. You got a lot of great artists down there. We'll sneak that in and give you guys a sneak peek of how that went down.
Yeah, so let's show them right now.
Absolutely. All right, we are off to be part of to show that we are fully 40-year-old children.
Yes.
We're gonna head off to Fremont Street and start making some wall art.
Yeah. So we are moving to a new space, so when you see these pictures up, they're going to be into our new little studio space. Our next stop will be at Fremont Street at the Caricature place. So
we'll see you there. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we actually started a podcast. We want to get some more. It's going to be our first bit of yeah, a little bit, yeah. Awesome. Looking good. Look at that. All right.
It was very cool because I'm always a fan of watching talented people at work.
Dude, those guys are so good, man.
It's crazy.
I was like,
absolutely
dude, and they did it within like 15 minutes.
Oh no, yeah,
it's like, what the heck?
It's amazing because it's people just sitting there waiting for whatever kind of the world throws at them.
Yeah,
and just automatically, it's like they've already got it figured out. They're already doing something, and it's something that is not in my brain. You know what I mean? Like I can't even think in that style. So it's very cool. It's very cool.
I think they got my nose a little wrong, but I don't have a Roman nose, dude.
Well, you do now.
I do now.
No. I mean,
but I
mean, caricatures are caricatures.
Yeah, so it's like, that's fine. I like it.
That's not a bad one. It's like I don't even know. I hate myself anyway, so it doesn't matter.
That looks very like almost spitting image. I like that.
No, yeah. I mean, but again, they did really well all across the board. So
so shout out to them. I forgot what their name was.
We'll
show it up.
It's right here.
So, it'll show up right here.
Right.
They were really cool.
But yeah,
we did another thing over there. That way, I didn't know that it was a.
Halloween's.
Yes. So we did. I did another thing over there that I thought was pretty innocent and just like, hey, this looks cool.
It could be. It's interesting.
It might be, but then like after talking with the guy there, when he mentioned, I thought it was all cool until he mentioned that it could be like animal cruelty, and I was like, okay, so
people are fighting it. Yeah.
Right. So I went to this. There's like this little booth out in Fremont Street. Where you can get you put your feet into this little tank of little fishes.
It's a little spa, so to speak.
Fish spa. Yeah. And it's called Kisses by Fishes or something.
Yeah, something like that.
And then you stick your little feet in there, and then the little fish come and start eating at your dead skin and shit.
Yeah, tiny little fish, and now I can't remember the name of them because I'm a dummy.
Yeah, they're very popular in Turkey or something like that. Like
there's a few different areas in the world where they're very popular.
This kind of therapy is actually
right.
pretty popular. It's some beauty kind of therapy. Whatever. Yeah. So like for the skin. So like but after looking it up, I really like let's show them what it looks like here.
Yeah, check it out.
Here it is. All right, I'm about to do this fish spa. It's called Kisses by Fishes. Put your feet in.
So my first question in that is like, I was just giving him a hard time anyway because it was fun and all that good stuff. Yeah. And as we were talking about kind of questioning, it's like, well, why is this something that people are fighting, and it's like, why is it an animal cruelty thing? And you know, for all the stuff that I like to say, it's like, you know, there's a lot of times where people like PETA just kind of overstep their bounds, in my opinion, but that's a story for another time. But in these types of situations, that was my first question. It was, you know, it's like, why are they fighting it? You know, what is the cause here? So it's like that becomes the question is, what are, you know, where are these fish originally from? What is it that is their natural habitat? Why are
and what is their natural feeding?
Like food source?
Food
right.
What do they eat?
It's like, you know, I got a feeling that, you know, their natural habitat is not sitting in a river waiting for barefooted people to walk through. You know what I mean? So, you know, what is it that's causing them to behave this way? You know, it's like, it doesn't, we're not killing them or anything like that. It's like they were in there. They're obviously eating something. That was even another question.
It was nice. It felt good.
Right.
I was like,
so
felt kind of funny.
Part of it, and part of it was like he kind of cleans the feet beforehand. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's not like you're going in there and just like having them eat dirt or anything like that. But I still always questioned, it's like, what exactly is it they're doing? And so that's kind of a journey for a later time, because I think that's going to be a deep rabbit hole.
Because my initial whole thought process of the whole thing that was going on was like, this is some kind of symbiotic relationship where it's like, I'm getting the cleaning, and they're getting fed.
Right. Like the birds with the rhinos.
Like with the rhinos and those little sucker fish with the sharks and stuff like that. Where they clean their teeth and they clean their mouths and shit like that.
But again, it's like there's always like limits on those too. But continue on.
So I'm thinking it's just like one of those things. But then again, you raise some good points. I'm like, wait a minute. Then are these fish like just hanging out where people are? It's like,
right.
But then could it be that whatever's in our feet, or like whatever, like the toe jam, is that like similar food source, similar form of protein or whatever?
Exactly.
For them?
Yeah. Is it just a different version of what they eat anyway?
Yeah.
It's like, and because one of my initial things as we were discussing it was like, are they in there, you know, nibbling at everybody's feet that put their feet in because we're starving?
They're starving. Yeah, exactly.
And that's the only thing they can do. You know what I mean? So that, you know, that was, it's going down that rabbit hole.
Right.
So,
and as it stands, in the United States, there's several states that have banned it. So
just be wary, you know, if you guys run into it.
Well, again, it's like, don't judge me. I had no fucking clue before this ever. I just thought it was, hey, it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, literally, it was a walking by. Oh, what is this?
I was being a total tourist, and I was like, oh, okay.
But again, it could be totally fine. It was just something that, you know, as we did it, it was kind of.
Well, I didn't think anything of it until he said, "Oh, but people think there's animal cruelty." I'm like,
wait, why? Right?
I was like, "Oh,
right." So, so again, that's a rabbit hole. You know, we might revisit at some point, but you know, if you guys ever run into it, just you know, consider those questions. So.
Yeah. So I mean, but don't judge me.
I've already done I've done
it.
all the judging for everybody.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you were able to sense it in the little clips there.
I don't know if I actually recorded my disdain at the time. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. So what else happened? What else has happened? Oh, we went to another Fremont Experience thing.
That's right.
A couple weeks ago, we went to see Live.
Yeah, went to see Live.
Fucking Live, baby.
Dude, they're so awesome.
They are good, and I mean, I'll be honest. I don't follow them that closely, so I only know they're like popular songs.
Hardcore, like follow them on tour and stuff live.
Like the whole time, I was like, "Play Lightning Crash!"
Right? Yeah.
And then they ended up playing it as their last encore song,
which is how they should do it. It's like they should always end every set with Lightning Crashes.
Yeah.
You know, it's like they still have. It's one of those where it's like at least they're not a one-hit wonder. You know, it's like they've put out some bangers. Like
they did.
Through the years.
Yeah.
And even as they started playing, they were talking about, oh, you know, here's stuff from our first album, the one before Throwing Copper, and it's like a bunch of their stuff. And again, for us, you know, being the Xennials that we are, it's old stuff started really resonating with us. Exactly, because it's very much of that time. And it was just awesome.
Dude, every time, because like every time he like brought up a song, he's like, oh yeah, this is one from 92 or 97. I kept going, 90s, baby, 90s. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's what's
these kids don't know, man.
And that was the most entertaining part of it all for me, was seeing the in the crowd, the people going the hardest on
all
the songs were
gray-haired,
old
balding,
dudes,
like
50
us.
years
Yeah,
old, right?
I was like, yeah, dude, you understand, man. Yeah.
It's so funny to kind of see that as it's going to progress. I do wonder how that's gonna go as time goes on. You know?
Yeah,
because it's like I start thinking about it because those guys, it's like they put on a show. They were full of energy. They absolutely killed it across the board.
They obviously had their one of their bouncers playing the keyboards.
Well, it looked like that. But I think I'm pretty
bouncer.
sure.
He's like, dude, like 1 second, like if somebody just rushes the stage,
he could just grab him, like toss him out. Yeah. No, but again, he was very good, and he was very much a part of it. And again, they just killed it. And it's like, obviously those guys are in their 50s at this point. And it's like they're still up there killing it. It started making me think about those old stories about, the Stones, and they're like touring into their 60s and 70s, and they're still putting on a show because they're freaking bonkers and, got enough drugs in them or something. I don't know. Yeah. Either way. But this is kind of the beginning of our generation getting into that state.
We're that crowd now.
Right. So it's like
they're that band too. They're the old.
Right. It's like, once all these old guys get up there and they're still killing it, it's like we're going to be the old guys, and it's like I wonder how hard we're going to be able to kind of go along with it.
Dude. No, man. But that's great though. I like how bands are actually like lasting a lot longer than.
Oh, I love it too.
Than normal, I guess. Because when we were the classics when we were kids. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of, aside from the Stones and like a few other bands.
Right. Yeah, it's like you're not. I mean, yeah, it's like people dying.
They were already done by the time
we
were listening to movies. So that's why they were the classics.
Right.
Like they're not
right. You're not going to be able to go out and watch Led Zeppelin or anything. Like that. Yeah, exactly. So and it's like the Beatles were done, and it's like kind of the Stones were kind of that last bastion.
But nowadays you have
like there's a bunch.
There's a shit ton of, you got Weezer still going strong.
Oh yeah, exactly. Damn. Oh my God! I was talking to a friend of mine who kind of is in that same wheelhouse, and they were like, "We have to protect Eddie Vedder at all costs. He's our last treasure from the grunge era."
Hell yeah, baby, dude! A lot of people, back when they were, the whole grunge thing was going on, they were getting shit on a lot, man. I was like, dude, Pearl Jam is the bomb, though. I love them. I loved everything.
Of course.
I loved Nirvana, Pearl Jam, all those things.
Oh yeah. But
I don't know why they couldn't get along though.
It's just I'm sure it's just the nature of being in music or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like I'm sure there's more to that than we know or than I know at least. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean,
the beefs, man. Like because I generally tend to like all the music during that time, like early 90s.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I was like I'm a big Guns N' Roses fan.
Oh, absolutely. And those guys, dude, they were ready to beef with anybody.
Yeah, they were, dude. But the thing is, the thing is with them and Nirvana. You remember that beef?
I actually don't know about.
You don't remember that? Yeah. So like before grunge came out, Guns N' Roses was like
exactly
emerging as the biggest rock band in that time.
Absolutely. Right.
They just did like T2 fucking.
Well, I mean, actually, T2 I think even came out before that because they were already huge by then, right?
They were already huge.
Appetite for Destruction was 88.
88. Yeah. Okay. So they were gaining their their fame and their all that stuff, and then by T2 was like when they kind of peaked.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's what You Could Be Mine.
They were just huge.
Came out of the Use Your Illusion album, and so that that was their big double album. Or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the whole grunge came in, and then like I guess because like Axl Rose really liked Nirvana.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So and he I think in one of his Don't Cry video, he wore like a Nirvana shirt or a hat or something like that. Because he was like he was like, hey, these new guys are good,
right.
like and then like Kurt Cobain though, like he was like all like that whole grunge scene was all about not being a part of that mainstream.
Oh, like they were too big. They were too.
They were like, no, we're from like these simple roots. We come from our garage and we're rocking it. We're not about to sell out like these guys. So he kind of they met at like some music award show. I think it was MTV Music Award show, and then like Axl was like, "Yo, what's up, man?" And then Kurt Cobain just totally gave him like the cold shoulder.
Oh man!
And then that rubbed Axl the wrong way.
Right. Oh,
and then that was just like, and then they just kind of
course, but I mean,
but as a fan, you're just like, dude, come on, get along.
It hurts us. But I think that was always part of it. Axl Rose it was easy to rub him the wrong way.
Yeah, he was a pretty much.
It's like he was ready to beef with everybody. Like Vince Neil was there.
Dude.
Even within the
I mean, him and Slash just could not get along. It's just like, goddamn, and they're half drunk the whole time. So
Exactly.
That's not a good recipe.
Would have been so amazing if they could have just stayed together and like, it was like they were such a big deal.
I think even when they, remember when they did that double headliner with Metallica?
Oh, okay.
They were touring with Metallica. Like Metallica had like big problem with them and stuff like that.
Oh wow.
Like,
they were just not.
Because Axl, he's just being a fucking, prima donna. It's like, my voice is not ready. It's like, all right. And so I actually went to one of that concert.
Oh, really?
The Metallica, Guns N' Roses.
Yeah,
Metallica, like, basically was the first headliner. There was a Motorhead open for them, dude.
Oh,
that was
God. That's
awesome.
huge.
Yeah. And then they had like a side act of Andrew Dice Clay.
Oh, my God.
He was like...
Right. That's such a weird
dude. Like, dude,
at least looking
awesome.
back. Right?
That's great. That was the power of the 90s, dude. The 90s were so good. Anyways, so but then like I remember I was 14 when I went there. I went to with a friend, and then we got to see all Metallica set, which was awesome. I was like, fuck yeah, Metallica. But then dude, it took like fucking 30-40 minutes for the fucking Guns N' Roses set up, and then like by then like I had a curfew. I had to be like my dad was like, I'm gonna be at the parking lot, pick you up at 11:30.
Yeah, right.
I was like, come on, hurry up and play a goddamn song. And then like as we're because we're like, oh god, my dad's gonna get pissed. Right. We didn't have cell phones back then, so we had to coordinate. We had to be there, or or else my dad would get pissed off. So we're walking out of the stadium. We're going to the parking lot, and then you hear "Sweet Child of Mine." I'm like, you fucking assholes! Fucking get your shit together, get ready, and get on, dude. I mean, why does it take 45 minutes an hour for another band to set up?
They
dude?
Oh my god,
they
just weren't prepared for their own fame. I guess I don't know, man.
It's just
that's a shame.
Too into their fame, yeah.
Right, and I mean, it's like it ends up tearing them apart and everything.
Yeah,
at least what was funny is at least you can say that you had seen them if you had seen them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like that would have been kind of the most heartbreaking thing is to kind of have been there, done all of that, and it's like now all of a sudden you're leaving right as they're doing the song.
Yeah.
It's such a shame. One of my great great regrets was I never got to see. I was like, I'll never get to see Rage Against the Machine. Because they broke up. Yeah. And it's like, but now that all of a sudden they're back together and touring, dude, it's like that's a huge deal. And it's like for all the bad shit that Guns N' Roses was to each other, basically, they still eventually, at least I don't know if this is money or whatever, but they worked out enough. They worked it out. Now you can go see them again. So it's like, even though you missed something that seemed so pivotal at the time, you have this second chance.
Yeah, and I took advantage because I went to see them in 2017.
And that's amazing that you even had that. Like again, it's like if I would have told 16-year-old you that it's like it's like you might get another chance after they've already kind of just blown up and everything, you'd have laughed. Right?
But I totally came back as that
you were still bitter.
No, that adult though. I'm like looking at all these kids. I'm like, these guys don't understand, man. They don't understand how great this band used to be, man. I was like,
I was there. Yeah. They were headlining with Metallica.
You don't understand. Stop rocking out. You don't understand, you little fucking shit. I was totally being that grumpy old dude.
But that's the thing. It's like it's funny because we're in this position. It's like all this music that we had as youths all of a sudden start. It's like it's still available now, which is insane,
and it's still like resonating with the younger crowd,
right. Which is and it's so cool that we kind of get to go back to that. But that begs the question, and I'll tell my part of the story too.
Yeah.
What is this?
Okay. So I've been moving.
Okay.
And so in the process of moving, I've kind of sifted through some boxes that had been kind of stored away and just kind of locked away, and I came across this thing. Guys, do you guys even remember what this was? This is called a CD. This is a CD case. I feel like I'm that store owner in Back to the Future 2. It's like, oh, here we have a dustbuster. It was a very handy tool back in the 80s. Yeah, so this back in the 2000s, we listened to CDs. I mean, kids still listen to CDs, right? I mean,
I don't know.
Not as much these days.
I literally don't know.
Yeah, so this is pre-Napster, pre-downloading music.
This is going to a store and like sifting
the record store. That was the thing, dude, to hang out at the record store. That's like what a lot of the movies back in the day, in the 90s, remember? Like Reality Bites, High Fidelity, they were all hanging out at the fucking music store. So when we were kids, we used to go to the music store and we'd buy CDs. And then we'd have so many CDs, we'd have to, carry them in a little case. And so, no, before I open this, I haven't opened this yet. I stumbled upon it. I was like, oh, this must still have some stuff in it, you know? So this is stuff that I listened to back in 20 years ago.
This is exactly what I'm hoping for. I love this. I love this setup. I've actually recently gone through this myself, and I'm mad that we didn't get to do this on camera.
Yeah.
I found my CD case.
Yeah.
I knew I hadn't gone that far back because I knew I had looked through it the last time I had moved, right?
Yeah.
But it was like I had last looked through it in 2010.
Yeah.
And then picked it up again in 2018, I think. So it was like, it was still like a pretty big gap. So it's like, I still didn't remember exactly what I had.
Yeah,
I didn't have. But it's crazy because like you said, it's like, this is almost like a peek into yourself 20 years ago.
Yeah. So I don't know whether I'm going to be embarrassed by this, but, or like, fuck yeah.
The more embarrassed you get, the more I'll give you my my corresponding embarrassment from mine. So continue.
Okay, so let's go ahead and open this.
Oh man!
All right, let's see what we got here. First page.
Oh man! It's full. Oh my goodness!
Oh wow! Okay, so we got.
See, that's
it's not bad.
So good. So
it's
far,
not bad.
so good.
I mean, this is par for the course.
Yeah, right. So
we got D12 CD here.
Show it to him because.
D12.
These are like trophies now.
Yeah.
It's like, so I don't know how many of these exist anymore.
This was Eminem's old little crew.
D12.
Yeah. Blue and yellow, purple,
oh, yeah. That's all, right.
Yeah, so this is like his little Detroit crew, and then that he was a part of.
Exactly.
So that's that.
That's funny.
This is Eminem's, is this Slim Shady, or is this the Marshall Mathers?
It's not Slim Shady.
This is Marshall Mathers, I think.
Okay.
This might be the Marshall Mathers ad. I forget what this was. This is either.
I know it's not Slim Shady.
LP, right?
Yeah, Slim Shady was the one with the like a little illustrated pill on
That's
it.
right. That's right. Yeah. So this must be his Marshall Mathers, the self-titled album or whatever.
All right.
That's it. We got
that's solid right there.
Backstreet Boys, baby.
There you go.
Backstreet.
There you go. Right. For all our grumpiness and everything, we've still got a Backstreet Boys fan. So come in and relish with us.
Hey man. You know, it's not so bad. You know, the boy bands were the thing, man.
I'll give you shit all day, every day, but it's still, you know, again, I don't begrudge anybody.
Like back in the day, that 20 years ago, I was totally into like the K-pop. I was into the dancing and all that stuff. So like I was
very much in
the
that.
boy band 100%. Thing. So
no, that's again, I don't begrudge you a bit.
So
this one, it's like. This one hurts me a little bit more than it should.
Stained. This is stained.
Yeah, because it's like I really love them to death. It's like I hate Aaron Lewis now.
You don't like Aaron Lewis? I heard he was a kind of a bit.
But anyway, continue on.
So what do we got? Oh God!
Oh, what's this?
We got Leanne Rhymes, dude.
Oh no, what happened?
Oh shit! Oh, I got cracked.
Oh, that's such a shame. No, Leanne Rhymes is awesome,
dude. Yeah.
First celebrity I actually ever saw in Las Vegas.
Really? Leanne Rhymes?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I mean, again, I just kind of saw her in passing, but she was super nice to everybody around her. It's like she wasn't like full of herself. She was just out on the floor.
Yeah.
So she seemed super cool.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you know what? I forget who turned me on to this, but then all I remember is this song was on Con Air.
Oh, okay.
At the very beginning, very
we'll
end.
Look it up.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you 90s baby, or you people who grew up in the 90s, you know Con Air.
This ought to be perfect for G.
Yeah. So, but then it wasn't actually her version wasn't the one that is featured in the movie.
Oh, okay.
It's sung by this other girl, Trisha Yearwood, I think.
Oh,
but then she sampled, she covered it.
No, absolutely. So
we got Roxette, Look Sharp, dude. Okay, this is actually.
So I actually don't know about this one.
This is symbolic because this is actually the first cassette tape I ever bought too.
Oh, really?
Was Roxette Look Sharp. This is one that has the look.
Yeah.
This is a great. Listen to your heart. When you call. Yeah, this one's great. This was I love this album. This was like very well. There was them, and I bought the New Kids on the Block.
Oh, right.
That was my first two ever records I ever bought. This Permanent Vacation, baby. Aerosmith. All right, so I'm keeping it real.
Exactly.
Got some rock in here too.
Exactly. And just to show that the Backstreet Boys thing wasn't an anomaly.
NSYNC, baby. Celebrity. Is this the one with Dirty Pop?
Ah.
Fuck, I forget. 2001 might be. I went to their concert once also at the Rose Bowl. Yeah.
Oh God, I can imagine that was just bonkers. I was loving it. Full freaking stadium. Oh my Lord.
It's when their new album just came out. So then they're like, yeah, we're gonna play stuff from our new album. It's gonna be the first time we're performing it. We're like,
oh, that's awesome. All right, and everybody's going nuts.
Now it's like again. I was.
Oh yeah, you're still doing it with them. Absolutely, you got to do that. Yeah. All right.
Weird little.
Oh, we're missing one, so it's not bad.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Okay, so wow. So I do. Okay, so then this is proof that I was into Korean pop. This is a group called Gen Xers. They were a group of 6 guys. These guys and another group called HOT. We talked about High Five with Teenagers. They were like the really hot groups back in the day.
Right.
And so I was into that.
Yeah, well, I'll look that up and show the dates because it's like there's
what is this?
that is some serious K-pop street cred right there.
Dude, this is old school, baby. This is pre BTS, pre all that, whatever those girl band names were. So this is actually
this cancels some of the street. No, I'm just
hey man, there's nothing wrong with Creed. This is my ex-girlfriend. She made this for me. She burned this for me. She was really into Creed.
Okay.
And so she wanted me to get into them too.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I kind of got into them.
Very good, very good.
I mean, the guy
again,
Scott Stapp. He emulates like my, I love fucking Eddie Vedder. So it's like
he's in that same much in that same.
Yeah. So yeah, this is I think this is a okay. Well, no, this is like another thing that kind of.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's like nobody does this anymore. I forget about this. Right.
Burned CD. I think I only wrote hip.
Yeah.
I think it meant hip hop.
Yeah.
But I think it's a bunch of hip hop songs. But then this is how we used to fucking get our songs.
Yeah. Once you got to a point where MP3s became kind of the norm. That gave us the opportunity this is effectively the new mixtape. If you go further back to like true Gen Xers, who would do the mixtapes. This is basically our version of the mixtapes.
Post Napster, post Kazaa.
Yeah, you would find or rip whatever
Morpheus. Remember those Morpheus?
Oh, yeah, 100%. But you would get all your music files and you'd be able to kind of make an audio CD out of them, and that's what those end up being.
This is pre fucking iTunes and all that bullshit.
Oh, nothing going.
Okay, so we got some Nas, baby.
Oh, well.
Nas. God, look at that.
God.
These are not. These are not playable anymore. Look at that shit.
We're gonna have to do some work if we're gonna pull any music off of these. But no, what makes this is even cooler because now I am very interested. At some point, we're gonna have to do this on screen or something. Because this is a completely blank.
You have to figure out what's in this.
I want to know what is on this.
It may be porn.
It is a straight blank.
It's a Memorex.
It is a. I mean, it's a recordable CD.
Yeah.
But I don't know what's on it.
Well, if there's anything.
It looks worn, so it's like there's no telling.
We'll find out.
Exactly. All right.
And lastly, okay.
All right, here we go.
So we got Puff Daddy. We got No Way Out.
There you go. I'll give you shit about that later. That's my own personal biases.
Yeah.
So I understand.
No, give me shit now, dude. It's all good.
No, I'm just telling you. It's like I'm never going to call him that name.
Puff Daddy.
He is Puffy Combs at most.
P Diddy.
The greatest thing he ever did was not rap on a record. But anyway, continue.
Yeah. Get all in your videos. Remember when Chuck Knight was all clowning him at the Source Awards and shit? Yeah. And this is
it's like Suge Knight's a piece of shit too, but that's how much I don't like Puff Daddy.
But no, he had a point, dude. It's like Puff Daddy was like always showing up in his videos, back dancing.
Your name is freaking Sean Combs.
I
don't know. Anyway,
yeah. And then the Comrades. I don't know. They're another hip hop group, but then I think they were like affiliated with some other, like the Twins or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Remember Twins? Twins make the sound go round and round.
Oh, I've heard that. I don't know anything about it.
I think they're in the same.
Okay, in that same place. All right.
And this is a birthday present that my friend made for me when I was 22.
Oh,
so it says Spirit 22.
There you go.
And she made a little mixtape, CD for me.
Yeah.
So again, that's kind of cool to see what's on this.
Exactly. Yeah. That's going to be an adventure for another time, or maybe that'll be like a extra. So
yeah,
we've still got some more mystery here. So that's really cool. But I mean, literally,
wow, this is kind of cool.
If you had to guess, like just a general area of a date of when the last time you opened this was.
Oh my God. I think it was probably when I still had my Blazer, which is like the Chevy Blazer. So 2001-ish, man, 2002.
So 22 years.
Yeah.
22 years.
It's been 22 years.
God, that is amazing. That is amazing.
And some of these look like they're still playable.
Oh no,
except the last.
Oh, we're definitely going to try some of this for sure.
Yeah.
So
cool. Yeah, so kids, realize how good you got it.
That's the kind of music mommies and daddies.
Yeah, this is what we used to listen to. This is how we used to listen to it.
Oh, very cool, very cool.
And then now you have all this in your little iPod,
exactly.
iPad or
when iPods first came out,
is
that's
iPod even a thing anymore?
I don't think so. It's like we're so old.
Kids move too fast.
But either way, that's going to be fun for later. So
for sure,
very cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Well, thank you for letting me be here for that. That's super cool. So,
maybe if I find some more stuff, we can just
Oh yeah, I mean,
let's do that and see what.
If I do the same, I'm gonna do it too. So
yeah.
You didn't really have any. There's no embarrassing anything in there.
Oh well, I thought maybe the NSYNC and the
no.
But then you're right. I'm gonna own it. I'm gonna be I was into them. I was into the 98 Degrees. I was into all that shit, man. O-Town and all that. Man.
Yeah, it's like I'll give you one. It's like I said, I don't think anybody's going to begrudge you for that because it's like those guys are just like the other things that we listen to, where it's like they go out right now and start a tour. Shit will be packed. It will be sold out in no time flat. You know what I mean?
And it would be sold out with like fucking gray haired.
Right. 100%.
But it's like that's still cool. I like that. Yeah.
So very cool.
Yeah. All right, man.
So for next time though.
Next time,
we'll do it. Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing.
We
you guys
we will
for
have
being here.
As a little preview. We went to the WSOP, so we'll be talking about that in our next.
There you go.
Yeah.
We'll have some stories to tell. So.
We're gonna delve into his little some war stories from behind the felt, from the pit.
All right. So until then, thank you very much. We will see you soon.
All right. Take it easy.